A stunning beauty tries to peek at the young man's cards, but the young man's drunk father deliberately shows them. The beauty takes a closer look, just a pair of deuces. She subtly signals her accomplice. Unexpectedly, when the young man reveals his hand, the deuces turn into a straight. The experienced cheats instantly lose their shirts. It turns out the young man's drunk father is the real deal. The man is actually a legendary gambler who has transmigrated. In his previous life, he was famous overseas for his superb gambling skills, and amassed countless riches. But with success came many enemies. One day, he returned home to find his wife murdered by his enemies, and his children also brutally killed. The god of gamblers lost everything overnight, and was ultimately shot dead by his enemies. But then he suddenly opened his eyes, and realized he wasn't dead. Instead, he had transmigrated into the body of a drunken bum. The drunk's daughter saw him staggering around, thinking he must have drunk fake liquor again, and told him to sober up, because her brother had lost tens of thousands at the casino, and if they didn't get the money to bail him out, his hands and feet would be chopped off. He looked at the girl, and immediately thought of his deceased family. He decided that in this life, he must never repeat his mistakes because of gambling. But when they arrived at the casino, they found their son had already lost a lot, and wanted to use the money to redeem him to try and win it back. The man heard from others that his son wasn't a habitual gambler, but lost the money trying to raise tuition for his sister. Seeing that his son still had a conscience, he decided to help him find his way back. Just then, the man immediately saw that the expert at the table was using sleight of hand, hiding a card, and dealing his son a pair of kings. But the young man thought he had a great hand, and not only bet his remaining 10,000, but also borrowed 50,000 in high-interest loans to reveal his hand. I have a flush. He was confident, wondering how he could be beaten. However, his opponent couldn't stop smiling, because he had dealt himself a 9, 10, jack straight flush. The young man's face turned ashen, like a wilted eggplant. Now, counting this hand, he owes 100,000. With midnight approaching and no way to pay, casino rules dictate he must pay with his fingers. The young man then asked his old classmate for money, unaware his classmate was working with the opponent, so he wouldn't lend him anymore. Just then, the man staggered to his feet. Something strange about the cards on this table. He pointed out that the 4 players used 12 cards, but there weren't 40 cards in the deck, but only 39. The young man thought his drunk father was hallucinating, not even bothering to count. Wondering how he knew there was one missing, the man told him to check the cards to find out. The young man decided to try anything, so he carefully counted the remaining cards. Sure enough, just as his father said, there were only 39. The expert feared the young man would search him and find the money, and immediately dropped the hidden card on the ground. Then he winked at his accomplice. Did a card fall out during the shuffle? Check under the table. The other players quickly found the card, and according to the rules, the hand couldn't count, so they had to reshuffle and start the next hand. The expert, seeing the drunk, had accidentally ruined his plan. Scared, he dared not hide or switch cards again, relying only on luck. Luckily, he was in luck, and got a pair of jacks. The young man was even luckier and got a straight, while the other 2 just had small pairs. I'll punch you a couple more times. Seeing the 2 were at it again, the other players folded. The expert, seeing the young man so confident, dared not act rashly. He winked at his accomplice again. Seeing this, the accomplice immediately called for a waitress to bring tea. But little did they know, the beauty was one of them too. She handed the young man his tea and didn't leave, but peeked at his cards from behind as he checked them. The man behind him saw everything. Just as the young man was about to reveal his cards, the man immediately stepped forward, grabbed the cards, and offered to take a look. The straight turned into deuces in the man's hands. What are you doing? I have good cards. Are you waiting for a royal flush? Just drink your booze. Are you trying to bankrupt me? The beauty immediately held up 3 fingers, and the expert understood. He asked if the young man dared to go all in. Seeing this, the expert was overjoyed, revealing a pair of jacks. Just when he thought he was sure to win, he saw that the young man had a straight. Enraged, the expert scolded the beauty for tricking him. I saw everything. You looked at my cards. Having lost 2 games in a row, the money the expert won was gone, followed by another round. At that moment, an accomplice switched in a new deck of cards, and the man noticed something was off as he heard the shuffle. The face of this deck was coated with fluorescent fiber. He quietly observed without saying anything, and noticed that after folding several times with bad hands, the expert lucked out and got a 7, 8, 9 straight flush, while the young man got a 5, 6, 7 straight flush. These rival hands appearing at the same time would definitely make the young man lose everything. Moreover, do you know how many materials are called artificial fibers? When influenced by an electric field, the molecular structure changes, altering the absorption and reflection of the spectrum. Interestingly, some playing cards are also made of this material, and the biggest fear when using these cards is changes in the electric field. After saying that, the man surveyed his surroundings, and then threw a playing card directly into the circuit breaker. The next second, the whole place went dark, and everyone thought it was a sudden power outage, so they used a generator to restore power, bringing light back. How is it going? 2 taps, 2 taps, 2 taps, and then a laser leg grind. Seeing that his cards had turned into blank cards, he confirmed it repeatedly and was terrified, but couldn't figure out why. The impatient crowd immediately urged the expert to show his cards, but if he revealed his hand, it would prove he was cheating, so he dared not act rashly in this strange situation. Seeing him hesitating, an accomplice stepped forward to take a look. I say, Dai's cards are clearly blank. So, who reveals their hand first, Ah Chang or you? He asked Ah Chang. You were the last to call. You should reveal your hand first. How could this be? During the blackout, my cards were switched out and then revealed. Oh, just now. You start first. Son, Dad. Just